Hey there, faithful friends, fans, and family members. You're here with another episode of QnA and Tender Tales with your host on the coast, Jack Spade Jackson, also known as Senior Give 'em What They Want, a booty squeezing, lady pleasing, wood chopping, heart stopping, bacon frying, puppy toy buying, grandma's boy. You hear me? That's right. I'm all of the above and a little bit more, like Black Dynamite, goddammit. And I'm here with PoetRaeMoet and the two founders of the NoChill card game. I got JJ, who y'all remember from last week, King JJ, my bad. But we also got Jean Grey, whose music you have heard a couple episodes back, and it was also featured on NBA 2K, like 20, I think. But I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. So go ahead and get us started. PoetRaeMoet, welcome. Go ahead, tell the people about yourselves, where they can find you, etc., just in case we got first-time listeners.
Absolutely. Well, definitely thanks for having me. What's up, y'all? I'm PoetRaeMoet. I'm an erotic poet and author, DC native, and I've got 7 books that are currently available on Amazon, as well as a spoken word album that you guys can find all over the place called The Audio Companion. I also produce events, adult events in DC area, and am very, very excited about our upcoming event for Couples Only 4. So definitely, you're looking for that Valentine's kickback. Get ready for us to go back to the original recipe. So we are very, very excited to be bringing that show. But it's a lot of things that I do. So I'm not going to keep talking about that. I'm going to let Jean and JJ get into their spiel.
All right there. Beautiful. But one quick thing. Make sure people know where they can find you.
Oh, yes, of course. If you're looking to find me, you can do so under the name at PoetRaeMoet anywhere on the internet. Of course, if you're looking for all of those links in one tidy place, you can also visit Linktree, linktr.ee/PoetRaeMoet, and that's PoetRaeMoet.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, babe. Now, King JJ, go ahead and tell the people a little about yourself. And then I'm going to go ahead and let you segue into Jean Grey, because y'all the dynamic duo anyway, like Batman and Batman. I ain't going to call nobody no sidekick. Y'all, we frat.
Right. All right, so I'm King JJ. I'm a entrepreneur in the DMV, up in PG County, Maryland. My main business right now is the NoChill card game. I also have a clothing brand and also write apps and websites also. You can find me at theking.jj on Instagram, and the NoChill card game is NoChill card game on Instagram. Also www.nochillcardgame.com will be the website that you can buy the game, play along. So go ahead, Gene.
Well, I'm Jean Grey. I'm the co-founder of the NoChill card game. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a hip-hop, R&B, pop artist. You can find my music on any streaming platform, including the NBA 2K21 video game. You can find me on Instagram. That's Jean Grey _SZN. That's GENEGRAY _SZN. So I'm happy to be here.
Beautiful, and glad to have you. And y'all did hear that right. His music is featured on NBA 2K21, the official judicial. That's right. We doing big things, and we know people around here at WGGJ, the Groove Masters Worldwide Radio. Also found at www.thagroovemasters.com or at @THA_Groovemasters on IG, or on the Twitteration at Jack Spade Jackson. Just drop the N. All right, so we're going to get right on into it. The first tender tale is, I don't know, I ain't going to say it's dry, but we got to warm them up somehow, right? So this one is one of those old friend stories, all right? So getting into doing the Q&A area, I was promoting, reaching out to any and everybody that was in my circle that I was still in touch with, and reached out to an old friend. And she and I, we cool. Like nothing ended on bad terms, anything like that. It just happened to be what it was. So a couple conversational days later, she get to asking me about my opinions on co-parenting. And basically I tell her, I'm like, in my opinion, co-parenting is what you do when like a marriage or something fails. Like that's not necessarily a first option for me. And long story short, the reason she even brought it up was because, she wanted me to kind of consider that option with her. And I'm like, I love you, baby, but I'm a nigga that's got a pension. I'm a young nigga with a pension. I got benefits for real. Like you don't get to have all of these benefits and not have the commitment of holding down the household for the child and myself. You feel me? Like I'm going to do my thing. You can go ahead back to episode 1 if you want to hear more about that. But yeah, like nah, you don't get that free ride, baby. I ain't gonna be giving you the seed to be out of my reach for an extended period of time and under other folks' influences. Like somebody go ahead, one of y'all. I got 3 people here, so don't leave me with the silence here. Somebody go ahead and tell me how you feel about that. That. All right, King JJ, I choose you.
See, me, I wouldn't do that kind of thing. I'm a young guy, just graduated college, and to be taking care of someone else's kid, yeah, they got me messed up. I'm not gonna do that.
Nah. The co-parenting isn't taking care of somebody else's kid. It's having a kid with a chick, but y'all don't raise the kid like as a unit. Like y'all both live y'all lives, and I guess the kid really, either stays at one parent's house or has joint custody, like some shit like that.
Oh, like on purpose?
Yes, on purpose. Exactly, on purpose.
Yeah, I don't see a reason for that. Like that's not ideal. That's not in the kid's best interest anyway. So I wouldn't go into it. I wouldn't go into in that situation saying this is what I'm going to do.
All right. Jean Grey.
It seems kind of backwards to me.
Yeah, but we agree on that. Like it sounds like we saying the same thing. Like that's an option that you take when shit doesn't work out.
Right.
What about you, Jean Grey? How you feel about it, bruh?
I think that's very interesting parenting tactics. I think it's I mean if they decided to have the kid and purposely raise it separately, I think that's very interesting way of doing it. I mean maybe it matches their needs where they both want kids, but the father wants to do his thing still, and the mother just wants to be a mother. And if that fits the vibe, then
And it's funny because I guess I'm the mother in the situation in the emotional aspect. Like Shawty, she presented it to me because she travels and does this, that, and the third, and be chilling. But like, I guess she kind of doesn't want to stay the auntie forever. So it's like, all right, so you still kind of want to have a kid but live your life. But like, if I'm going to put this seed to you, then guess what? We making some roots. PoetRaeMoet.
Well, there's so many things here. First of all, I think that the reason why we were all very quiet to begin with is because you weren't super clear on the fact that it was co-parenting, and maybe sounded at first like, like she already has a kid, like stepdaddery, not calling that. So as I'm understanding it, she wants to have a child. And the thing is, the reason why she's asking you is because she knows you. You guys have this extended relationship. You're on good terms, and you've been on good terms for years. She's hoping that is a trend that could continue. The thing is, unfortunately, so many women have been, let down in relationships where, you have this guy who says he's going to stay and says that all of these things are going to happen. And for whatever reason, the relationship ends. And at that ending of the relationship, unfortunately, a lot of guys don't stick around. And that's not, me trying to be like against men or anything. That's just a thing that we, have all unfortunately seen happen in many different types of situations. So I'm thinking that for her to say something like that, she wants to try to get rid of the emotional disappointment of having that man leave, and instead say to someone in the beginning, why don't we just start off from here? Like,
Yeah.
that sounds to her like it might be a good idea. To me, it doesn't sound like the greatest idea. But we've also seen where you'll have, the example of gay men and their beards, right? Those are the straight women that they marry, and they just want to have a family. They want to have that family situation. Back in the past, a lot, it was so that men or the gay party in that marriage, rather, would be able to kind of hide what was going on with them. But we've seen that kind of pan out where, okay, there are two parents in a household. But if you're still having two unhappy parents in a household, that's still going to stress a kid out either way. And let's be very clear. There is no perfect way to raise a child. Kids are going to kind of hate their parents no matter what happens. You know what I mean? All of those things, like, those are all a given. And I think that really she's probably just been through enough of the emotional ringer where she wants to be able to still accomplish her goal of having a child, but she doesn't want to go through, again, that emotional pain. And so she's trying to see if a friend is someone that she could do that with and be able to continue that friendship with, and that, that closeness, but not every day. It doesn't have to be in the same house. It doesn't have to be, you know what I'm saying? But it can definitely be like, oh, your dad's here, instead of, oh, your daddy here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So I think that's maybe what she's thinking, but that's all I got.
Nah, but that makes complete sense, and and I appreciate you. That's one of the reasons that I chose you as my panelist, is because you're providing a perspective that we will not necessarily as men immediately look for. Like, and even though that might be something that's kind of tilling around in our heads, we might not fully understand it enough to articulate it that way. So yeah, I appreciate that. Like we say, you dropping knowledge. You're going to get, it's infotainment here on WGGJ, the Groove Masters Worldwide Radio. Yes. All right. So something along those lines. How do you feel? And I'm gonna choose Jean Grey first. How do you feel about the idea of traveling? And what I mean by traveling is somewhere where you might have to drive past 3 or 4 hours, or somewhere where you could catch a flight to meet somebody that you may have had interactions with online. You may FaceTime them or whatever. Like, how do you feel about going to travel, or having somebody actually, commit to traveling just to see you for an initial meeting?
Well, I mean, it depends. Okay, if it's like a flight, I'm definitely not going. And if she wants to come to me, that's fine. But 9 out of 10, it's not going to be on relationship terms, because you live so far away. But I had, like, my girlfriend, when I first met her, she lived in Jersey, and so it was like a 3 hour, 4 hour ride just to get to her sometimes. So I understand that struggle, but if we're like far, like 10 hours, 12 hours away from each other, then that's a dub for me.
Now, I feel where you're coming from, but I specifically mean, to meet somebody for the first time, because I do want to know, and you kind of answered this about it a little bit, but we can get more into it, because I do want to ask about relocating for a relationship. But I mean, really traveling So, like, would you have driven to Jersey to meet her for the first time? Like, y'all met each other on Tinder, y'all chatted on the phone a little bit, y'all might have IG lived each other or FaceTimed each other one good time or two good times, and now you want to meet. And maybe she's like, all right, well, let's meet up in Philly as, a halfway area, something like that. But, like, would you have driven out there to meet her for the first time?
Probably not.
Okay.
Nope.
Now, what's your reasoning behind that?
I think that I mean, there's a lot of. I feel like it's a lot of costs for that. All right, if I'm going to drive my car out there, then if something happens to my car, then how am I going to get to work? Or if I take a rental car, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole bag that I got to pay just to see somebody that I've never met in person before. Especially if I get there and it's underwhelming. I feel like it's a lot of financial risk. It's a lot of it's a lot of things that I wouldn't have to deal with if I just talk to somebody that's, at least an hour from me,
Okay.
At the most, yeah.
Okay. What about you, PoetRaeMoet?
For a first time, it would really have to depend on the number of conversations and the level of conversation. Initially, like those would be like the first, like, two things that I would need to consider if I was going to meet, some random person from online. Like, what is this person saying? How valid is, the stuff that they're saying? Like all of that is important. In addition to that, I think that there is a time where it's something that is on my schedule or near my schedule. So, for example, if this person's like, oh, let's meet halfway in Philly, okay, cool. I do business in Philly sometime. I'll tell you the next time that I'm going to be in Philly for business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that it's not something that's like inconvenient to or outside of my schedule. And then it also places me in the proximity of other people who I know, so that if, something goes sideways, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, you know what I mean, there's still like people around or near. And I would definitely be the choosing like the place and like at the last minute if possible, so that there's no kind of like, like lessens the potential for like, setups.
I feel you. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, women always have to worry about safety, even in the most mundane situations. So
Hey, I completely agree, but not even off the mansplaining. One of the things that I always am concerned about is catching the Georgia. Like, mess around and think you meeting the chick and now you set up to be robbed type situation. You feel me? Like, that shit happens a lot. I actually lost a couple of friends that way back in my service days. Like, going to a port town or, at a new duty station and meets a chick and we like, all right, man, cool, whatever. But, man, maybe you might not want to roll out with her tonight, but nah, I'm good. And the motherfucker actually ended up dead, So, that risk is definitely real. So now, how do you feel about relocating for a relationship? Now, and it's a myriad of conditions. Like, say, you're with somebody, y'all living together, and this person gets a job and they have to travel for that. Would you go with them? Or, maybe you did have that meetup in Philly, but this person lives in Jersey and, things have gone on long enough and they're thinking about coming down here or they're asking you to come up there. How you feel about that?
If we're not married, then that's no-go.
All right. PoetRaeMoet?
facts, yeah. We're definitely going to need to be engaged. I mean, really, like, yeah, like engaged is the minimum, like seriously, to relocate, and then it's a ton of factors. It is possible, but there are a lot of other things that need to be met and discussed and kind of dealt with before that happens.
I feel you. I feel you. Now, King JJ, what I didn't get from you was your opinion on that traveling to for the first time meetup.
Yeah. So me personally, I wouldn't travel by plane. I feel like if you have to take a plane to go somewhere to meet someone for the first time, then they're too far to meet. You know? But if she wants to come to me, I'm not gonna stop her. You know what I mean?
All right,
But
so you don't feel no pressure?
No pressure. I mean, not really. I mean, if you got it like that, and I'm not gonna fly her out. If that's what I'm not doing that. So if she feels comfortable enough to hop on that plane, get a plane ticket, and come and visit me, I mean that's her prerogative. She feels comfortable enough to make that step, and I'm here at my house. We can meet somewhere, I guess. But I personally want to make that commitment. And I do think that we could, if she lives far, we could meet at a halfway point. But I think the furthest I would drive would maybe be an hour.
An hour, like nigga. Alright,
Yeah.
so
Hour,
I feel you, but also like nigga, an hour is meeting a chick 15 minutes away in traffic around here. Like,
Alexandria to College Park. That's the radius.
Like this nigga said, if I meet a chick in Annapolis, she's short.
So maybe like, well, yeah, an hour is my cutoff because I'm not driving longer than an hour to meet someone I haven't met. But you know, like I met a person the other day. She lived in Baltimore. Baltimore isn't far, but it's just an hour.
Yeah.
Well, she just made it. She just made it. Got lucky.
Hey, I feel you. Shawty made the cutoff.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So, and I mean, and I guess this is for all of you. If this person that you're talking to then is too far away to be considered serious, do you actually stop talking to the person? Or do you just let them talk to you until they figure it out? Or how do you handle this situation?
Well, I initially, it depends. So maybe this is going to sound shitty, but I'm honest. It depends on how attractive you are, first and foremost. Like, you got to be a special kind of attractive for me to even have, like, this conversation with you as a long distance anybody, just because, like, I don't really operate well that way. So and it's been proven. So yeah, if you attractive enough, then I may continue the conversation. But honestly, I'm playing it by ear. Like I don't. If you start talking about us trying to see each other, I'll let you know real quick if that's a part of the country that I'm not trying to go visit, or if like that's just too far. Now, and if you just up and say that you're willing to come see me, I'm a little bit worried, like because if you either like have that time or that level of spontaneity, like that's cool, but it's just to me that's kind of like you too willing to uproot your life for somebody you don't know. So that's a little bit red flaggish to me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So, anybody else want to chime in on that?
I mean, if she, I think it's just kind of like what he's saying. You know what I mean? It's just like if if the Yamin is fire, you know what I'm saying? Then if I have to, you know what I'm saying, make some moves, you know what I'm saying, see some sights while I'm over there, you know what I mean, have some good times. Because I got a bro who's in Mexico, and he has a girl come from New York to Mexico all the time, and she stays there for like a week. But I mean, she leaves, she comes back whenever, you know what I mean. So I'm like, if she's willing to make that kind of move, that's cool with me, you know. But I mean, if I'm going, then we gotta talk about half-seas, you know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about money.
I mean,
I feel like there's like an equation. That's what I picture. There's like an equation for it. So it's like, is she attractive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most important things is an important part of the equation. Is she at this point giving me sex? That's very important.
All right, so are we?
That's a good point.
Are we smashing all bucks?
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Like, yeah. You ain't trying to show up off a flight to snuggle.
Right. Well, there's
I'm sorry. I thought that's what we were talking about this whole time. I didn't think we were snuggling either.
Hey, but
right.
Apparently it's a good thing that's clarified, though, because it's a lot of trick, and it's going to be, some unpopular speech, whatever, but there's a whole lot of trick-ass niggas to do shit like that. Like, man, I caught a flight out to see this bitch, and she left me at the airport. Like, man, so I know a nigga that he flew out to go see this bitch, and he did it under the guise of taking a little vacation, whatever, but he flew out to go see this bitch, and the whole time this nigga was where he was at, this Slim was unavailable as fuck, and I know for a fact she be pussy popping for paper. Like, nigga, that's her profession. She is a professional pussy popping for paper, so salute to you. But I told this nigga, I was like, man, you out here, you violating anyway, nigga. And nigga went out there and got his pride hurt a little bit. So yeah.
Now, that's a big problem. That's a big problem, because if you're going to fly out, if you're going to go anywhere, if you're going to drive somewhere, be clear about what the visit is actually about before you go. And not only that, I need you to also listen to whoever you're talking to when they respond to you about your intentions. Okay? I think those are very big things that people miss. Because if you say, oh yeah, I'm coming there for a vacation for a few days, okay, cool. That's your vacation. Really doesn't have a lot to do with me. Oh, I'd like to see you while I'm out there. Oh, okay, well, that sounds nice. Haven't said anything in stone yet. You know what I mean? So I'm, if you're just like, oh, I'd like to see you while I'm there on vacation, that doesn't really mean anything to me, because that doesn't say that I want to see you on Saturday. Let's go out to dinner. Or, hey, I'm coming through town, this weekend. Let me slide through, after we go to the club, on Saturday night. And, I might, stay there until Monday morning. If that's cool, I catch my flight out. Oh, okay, cool. Like, I know what stay the night means. You know what I mean?
Right.
So be clear. Don't be like, oh, we've been texting for months, but the whole time we've been texting, we haven't talked about anything sexual. You ain't asked me for a picture. I ain't asked you for a picture. You ain't insinuate nothing or nothing like that. And then the first time we go to meet, you trying to put your arm around me, put your hand on my leg, and oh, wait a minute, friend. What are you doing?
She said the F word. Oh, she said the F word. Friend.
But that's the way that we had been texting this whole time, right? Again, if you're not being clear with your intentions and you're not making it known, okay,
I feel you.
can still be a nice guy and still have your intentions out there without being a creep.
Yeah.
You can still do that. That's possible.
But the thing about your mans, though, it's about the equation again. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if you know that information is she's pussy popping for money, then that's like putting a zero into an equation. If a zero's in it and you're multiplying, it's gonna be a zero at the end.
Right.
If the quality is bad, why are you going out there for bad quality?
Hey, because hey, like Gene said, it might be good quality. It might be the it.
Nah. I don't like that kind of thing.
Well, see,
Zero
and that's
for me.
subjective. That's also
That's a zero
subjective
for me.
because there are tons of porn stars and strippers who have husbands and children. Like, they
Yeah.
are not the ones who are out here in the street unmarried. I promise you. Okay? Like, they are booed up and bun down at home. Like, I promise. So
I can't
it's
take
a
a certain kind of
subjective
dude
thing.
for that.
It's
Take a certain
subjective.
kind
So
of
in
dude,
your
yeah.
equation that equals zero for Jack's friend, it's something different.
Well, that nigga still ended up with a big old donut. So, all right.
Sounds like simpery to me.
Hey man, that specific situation is a little trick daddy, trick loving. But
Yeah, I feel
anyway,
like some people don't really bring out the calculator
hey,
for
now
keeping that analogy.
here's a question that kind of rides along that. We're gonna segue into this. Can a man have a hoe phase? Is that a thing? Now I already know. PoetRaeMoet, we just hold your tongue for a second because I already know. But I want to hear from the young gunners. I want to hear from Butch and Billy the Kid. Like,
I think that is. I think a whole face for a man is that right there is. I would say it's only for certain kind of men. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, 90% of dudes don't have sex on the regular. Like, they don't. You know what I'm saying? So if a guy is cracking 10s and 20s of women, all kind of crazy, 9 out of 10, that dude either has a lot of brain. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like.
so can he be
hard.
a hoe? Does that make him a hoe? Or is that nigga or is he doing what he's supposed to be doing?
I feel like, I think he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think he's convincing any of these women to have sex with him, because if there's one guy that look good in a small town, 9 out of 10, all the women are going to be having sex with that one guy. You know what I'm saying? And they will bypass all the ugly dudes just to have sex with the one guy. You know what I mean? The one guy that look good. So he ain't really having to put too much out there. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, so it ain't his fault he getting laid. I Gene, great.
Yeah, so I think it's very well known that it's different between men and women. So for men, like I feel like if a guy said he had a hoe phase, he doesn't necessarily believe he's a hoe, right? He would just say that so you and everyone he's talking to understands what he means. He means he was having a lot of sex with a lot of women, right? So that's just a phrase that he would say so that everyone understands what he means.
Now,
right?
I don't know a nigga that would use that phrase about himself. Like, not in my immediate circle, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead, continue.
I mean, yeah, but it's like,
I think they would say it to be funny. I don't think they would be
it's like,
I
don't think someone would be like, yeah, I went through a whole phase. I think he would just say it like as a joke, but to make sure everyone knows what he means.
All right, so I got y'all. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and unleash PoetRaeMoet on you. Go ahead and take your gloves off, cause I know she been over this. She got in my ass when we talked about this.
Listen, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm in complete support of everything that the guy said. Right? Y'all playing right now.
Say word.
Lean back for a moment. I mean, yes, men can have a hoe phase. Everybody can have a hoe phase. Like, just, I mean, it's a phase. It's a part of life that you go through. You know, some people get stuck in phases, other people grow past them. I mean, it's just like nail biting or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, habits. Okay. Um, I agree, though, with what Jean was saying, actually, about the man not internalizing that as actually having a hoe face. I absolutely 100% agree with that. All of the messaging that our society gives says that this is what men are supposed to do, that they are supposed to go out and spread their seed and procreate. And this definitely says go out and spread your seed and procreate, but definitely also put down the fucking people that you're fucking.
No, no, but that's not that's not what it is.
That's not what our society says.
No, because the thing is, the whole thing is, it's about the definition of a whole phase. Okay, so a guy that to a guy that never has sex, right? He could get lucky in 1 month and have sex with 5 girls, and he'd say that's a whole phase. But in the general definition of a whole phase, we all know what that means. We're talking about you're cracking, like you're having sex 20, over 20 times. You know what I'm saying? And so for a man to go through a whole phase, if a man says he went through a whole phase, 9 out of 10, it's not as much as you think that it is. It really ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if a woman says she went through a whole phase, the numbers shoot up, because when you want to turn on the whole button, there's going to be hundreds of people lined up. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas waiting.
And the whole button exactly. On. But what you're saying is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the messaging. But listen, it's the messaging. The messaging that we have been given all of our lives is that men are studs for going out to have sex and women are whores for having sex with them.
No, you know,
like,
no.
But that's,
you know
really,
why?
That's really the message that we've got. And right now, in 2021, we're in this time where like things are shifting. People are taking control of like different terms, and everybody wants their own acronym for something. And that's really cool. But one of the things that it's also bringing light to is the fact that men and women share similar habits. If there was a woman who didn't have sex with anybody and then had sex with 5 dudes in a month, she would definitely be called a hoe.
That was her choice. It was her choice.
Going into her hoe.
It was her choice not to have sex with anybody. That's the whole thing. It was always her choice. For a lot of men, it's not their choice.
What are we talking about now?
It's not their choice. Some men just don't get sex because of their how women look at them. So you think a guy that doesn't have sex ever, he's just passing down chicks? No, he's not getting pussy because bitches don't like him. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is.
I want to challenge your definition of hoe phase, because, and I want to challenge it in this way, because for those same people that you're talking about, you know, not just the ones who can't get, you know, the opposite sex or the same sex, the ones who can't get people interested in them. Okay. Even if we're talking about those people, we can lump in like disabled people, all of that. Like, because if you're having a hoe phase, it's not always just physical. It's not always just physical. It can also be that mental part of going through the act of every night for 6 months, I did nothing but hit the bars and try to pick up chicks, man. I couldn't put down porn forever, man. I had to be on this and on that, and my hormones were on end, and I was raging left and right to go find something.
That's not That is not what men think.
I'm about to say, that's a different interpretation.
That's not what they think, but
I'm telling you a fact, though. No, I'm telling you a fact.
Now,
you're making up a definition here.
Now, hold up. Because now we talk about an emotional hoe face, and I feel where you coming from, but still, I kind of got to lean toward King JJ on this side, because being the hoe, my bad, brother Gene. Yeah, because technically, yeah, I get where you coming from. If you trying to be a hoe, that still don't make you a hoe. Like, that's just like if you physically are a prostitute and you go out there and you try to sell pussy, but you don't actually sell none, or you try to sell dick, but you don't actually sell none, then by law, you ain't actually like you soliciting, but you haven't committed the act of prostitution. So like you gotta. I feel like and I feel
Okay, so writers that are working on their first book aren't writers yet because they haven't published or authors yet. Like
It's two
you
different
can
things.
call
It's two
yourself,
different things.
you can call yourself lots
Because
of
you're
things,
writing.
but that's
Because you're
accessible
writing.
to everyone.
Because you're writing though. If you're writing, whether you're selling books or not selling books, you're still writing. How can I be a hoe if I have not done anything hoish? if I've been doing it by myself this whole time, then it don't qualify. I mean, I'm just saying. It's just it's logic. I mean, I think dudes are considered studs when they crack a lot of girls because of the work that has to be done to do. It is to the point where it is a craft. Okay, it's a craft to be able to do that. There is no craftsmanship in how women move. There is none. There is
oh shit.
Zero.
There's no craftsmanship in how women move.
There's no craftsmanship. You could go out and look.
You're gonna need to take a look at that.
No, I know, because my thing is, unless you look like you stink or something, you could go out and just sweatpants. Don't even try to look your best. Offer it, and you have more takers than the opposite sex will have takers if you dress the same. So that's why I'm like, I have to have a career. I have to have a car. I gotta have money. I gotta be interesting. I gotta be funny. I gotta have all these things. All you gotta do is just have a pussy. So I'm like,
that is an extremely low bar, and I'm gonna need you to raise that up.
I'm not saying to date you. I'm not saying to date you. But what I'm saying is, if you want to get some, you know what I'm saying? I think my mission and your mission is two different things.
I think so that PoetRaeMoet, about getting some, that you're confusing what women want in terms of getting some real quick and what women want in terms of a relationship.
When we're talking about relationships, we're talking about
women are not looking for you to have millions of dollars in order to fuck them. We see bums getting fucked every day, bro. Like, you don't need to have millions of dollars just to get some pussy real quick. That's never been the issue. If you're talking about jobs and cars and all of that, that's for a relationship.
See, what I'm saying is we're talking about now we're talking about the quality of women we're talking about here. Okay? So I'm saying if you want to go and get some food, right? You can go and get some food. But I'm just saying, if I'm gonna go get some food, I'm gonna go get me something from a nice, delicious restaurant.
man, hold up.
So I'm like, if I'm gonna go to a restaurant, I can't just come in there looking bummy.
Look, man, I feel you, but we didn't go on left. I want you to go back and handle this craftsmanship thing right quick, and then we gonna jump on. So PoetRaeMoet said women don't need craftsmanship to get dick, but niggas gotta finesse their way into some pussy at all times.
Yeah, literally, that word, finesse.
That is what this man is saying. Please go ahead and rebut.
Honestly, here's the thing. When there is just a search for sex, the requirements change. They change for all of us. When there's a search for a relationship, that requirement then changes. And to say that women are not craftsmen, oh my God, have you seen any woman's bathroom? The hair, the nails, the shampoos, the glosses, the fragrances, like all of these things that we also go through to impress you, that we also go through to
those things don't impress.
To rate things from the regular to the premium. Like, we all do it at every level. But again, I'm saying you can feel that way. But going back to the messaging that we all have received throughout history, like, this is where those discrepancies come in. Because men will always view things a certain way. Women will always view things a certain way. But the trick of things is to find the person that views things as closely as you can to each other and then make a life out of that. Because doing all of the back and forth with people who don't understand you, at the end of the day cost us nothing but time.
All right. Pause for the cause. WGGJ, the Groove Masters Worldwide Radio. QnA and Tender Tales here with PoetRaeMoet and NoChill Card Game Brothers, King JJ and Jean Grey. We just got real deep on your ass. Because we done went from whole phases to the steps that you gotta take in order to get some ass or get some dick in ladies' perspective, or any other one of these mixed myriads and things that'll take me like 5 more minutes to go through it to include everybody, but everybody's included. Yeah, good gracious. So I'm about to ask y'all about something, and I feel like, I do know one perspective of it, but since porno is so damn free and just so open, why do you think people are still paying for OnlyFans? Like, especially when you, like, in certain scenarios, you know that you're not getting something that's exclusively for you. Like, why are people still paying?
I think it's because of, I think it's a different experience than porn, because it's like, porn is like porn stars, they're like celebrities, you know what I mean? When the whole OnlyFans experience, at least to me and how I think these guys view it, is, they have access to their social medias. It's like they know them, or the content that they're pushing is not so glamorous. It's kind of like amateurish, but it's still good quality.
But it's a whole bunch of amateur porn out there too.
But it's not. I mean, yeah. I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much the bar wants us to disclose, but I know that there's people that like customize things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if that's what they like, you can't really get customized porn and shit like just anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I guess maybe that's some of the craftsmanship. You like, cause I don't know, like, if you got somebody that's really digging you, y'all can work that out.
Right. The thing with the OnlyFans girls, so like, depending on who you subscribe to, is I only know this because like of the interviews that we do for the NoChill card game. So, I agree with Gene. He was saying, it's not like they're celebrities or like average people that you would see like down the street, or the Instagram model that you think is cute, right? So the fact that you can see that girl on the Instagram feed and then subscribe to her OnlyFans and see her titty out, you're like, oh shit. I uncovered exclusive content that only a few people see, right? And also it's like OnlyFans girls can make custom content for you. So if you want to see Monica put in a plunger in her butt, you can see Monica put a plunger in her butt.
Yeah, like, I feel you, but like, you can look up any of this shit, and to me, like,
yeah, but it wouldn't be Monica though. That's
yeah, I feel you.
It's about who it is. Who it is.
So niggas is tricking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
So PoetRaeMoet, you agree with that's pretty much the sentiment. That's why people are still out here OnlyFans paying, and we gonna get to something on that on the back end. But yeah, go ahead. Do you feel like that's why?
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. Porn, of course, has come a really long way. Nowadays, everything is HD. It's overproduced. It's fast cuts and slow cuts and weird angles and all of these, things, to kind of keep the trade interesting. And of course, that appeal of, having, that crush on the grocer down the street. And now, that she's got an OnlyFans, like, oh snap, this is like a regular person that I have access to. Like, that's kind of the lore of it. I definitely agree with that. And that it's, a lot more realistic. which I think a lot of people appreciate in this very interesting time of authenticity on the internet.
I feel you. All right, now, since we kind of been on these type of topics anyway tonight, how do you feel about OnlyFans models of all sorts, and like the impact that it may or may not have on future relationships? Do you think it has an impact on future relationships, or do you feel like we're in a time now where basically like it's pretty much normal that your kid might be able to go to high school and pull up his classmate's mama with her ass out?
I think
Because that's
yeah,
a whole.
you know what? Off
No
the strength of the
chill.
business, right. Off the strength of the business, I'm gonna have to plead the fifth.
You say that one more time. You got no. We ain't hear you. We ain't hear you clearly. Say that one more time.
I said off the strength of the business, I'm gonna have to. After the strength of NoChill, I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on this one.
Niggas is scared. They said they ain't got no chill, but apparently they do.
Yeah, because we interviewed these girls.
Nah. I feel you, bro. Like,
we don't want to say anything that's like, oh, I didn't agree with them.
now, hey, and see, that's the thing. Like, if you part of the WGGJ family, then you know we not in here putting folks down, nigga. This is real live conversation. This is some shit that you gonna hear, at a card table or barber shop or a barbecue or a hair salon or something like that. Like, nigga, we having the conversations that people are afraid to have because, yeah, like you showing, like everybody's too afraid to offend somebody. And me personally, I don't want to be offensive, but fuck what you heard. Like, nigga, if you mad at what I said, nigga, then whatever. I know damn well that there's a lot of women that I find attractive, and like this, just straight up and down. Like, I don't want my kid to have to worry about the potential that your mama was pussy popping. Like, maybe not even OnlyFans. She might have been a stripper. She might have just been an Instagram model. And that's not anything against sex workers at all. I appreciate you. I love you all. But like, I'm just saying that the way that I view things personally is I'm looking down the line. Like, nigga, when the nigga's like 50 or 60, and yeah, maybe I want to look at my baby's pictures because I got a personal collection of things that were made for me that I don't share and haven't been shared, at least to my knowledge, outside of me, not on no sites or nothing like that. So how you feel about PoetRaeMoet?
Well, the biggest thing that I'd like to throw in a kink in the wheel, if you will say, is revenge porn. Because then, that changes things a little bit. But let me start with the first part. OnlyFans girls, do I think they might have, issues with relationships? Hell, everybody has issues with relationships. Just think that it's going to be especially perilous because of their occupation. It really just depends on the types of men that they meet and the views that those men have. And also kind of putting that, out there up front, because people are going to ask, oh, what do you do? Don't lie about it. Like, be real, say what's what, and then let that other person decide if that's something that they can continue or not, and then respect their decision for that. Point blank, move on to the next person. You know what I mean? And that's just what, all of us have to go through anyway in finding a spouse. So I don't think that it's going to be any more upsetting to the dating spectrum, because like everybody says, the dating pool's got pee in it. But
what about the kids though? I said, what about the kids though? Like, what about ones that's got kids and things like that?
Right. And again, I think that if you're going to be parenting, have sex positive parenting. Like, tell them like what is going on, what might be seen. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like put it out there. I definitely think that like truth is the best policy. I definitely think that, of course you wait until an appropriate time to try and head off any of those types of things. But that it shouldn't be, such a secret, that if it was to come out or be brought up by someone else, that it would cause like havoc and like rip the family apart or whatever. Like those kinds of things are too big, and they lead to too big of issues and problems when you can just head them off to begin with.
Now, how early is appropriate? Go ahead.
Well, I do want to say, I think that if a woman came to me and they asked me whether or not they should do OnlyFans, I would say, hey, do what you want to do. But I think it's about your future choices, because I feel like with a lot of which this information is 100% valid from like with Fresh and Fit interviews and things like that. Like these OnlyFans girls, they do OnlyFans, but then when they ask them questions like, okay, what kind of guy do you want? Do you want to be married? Do you want these things? And they don't respond with the correct answers. And the correct answers is, I think, yes, some guy that makes $30,000, $40,000 a year would love to marry an OnlyFans girl. But I think a man that making 200, 300, or even 100 wouldn't want that, because if he's making that kind of money, then reputation matters. And that a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of like a reputation shattering type situation.
Because it's the image of exclusivity. Like, I can't call you mine if somebody else can access you.
Right. So, I mean, if you want that, so it's just like, that's the thing. Like, if you say, hey, I want a guy that's going to love me for me, I don't care how much he makes or what he does, okay, go for it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these girls, they have expectations on what their life is going to be like in the future, and thinking that somebody that's in that lifestyle will accept them. I think that's where their minds kind of skew a little bit from what real life is like.
Yeah, and I can dig that. I can agree with that. PoetRaeMoet.
I just I'm not sure that I think I got a little confused here. You said that when you ask them about if they want to be married and what kind of guys they like and stuff, that they get quiet and they give the wrong answers. So you're saying
no, not get quiet. They tell me, well, not tell me, but when they're in interviews, they say the kind of guys that they want, but they're saying it from a place of, okay, I'm regular, I'm still regular. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yeah, you can say these things if you were still regular, but now that you have put certain things out on the web and things, you have to deal with people whose careers, whose livelihoods, how they move don't affect their image. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, their image don't affect that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when they mention the kind of men that they want to be married to, or how much money they make, those guys, their image and their online perception and how their clients view them, or how things, you know what I'm saying? Those guys, that matters. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you can't say, hey, I want to put this stuff online, and then I want a guy that's making a lot of bread, or a successful man doing this. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean.
Did that clarify it for you a little more, Poet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I think Lil Uzi it's gonna be hard for Lil Uzi to marry a lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? The man, his face look crazy. You know what I mean? He's a rock star now, so it's just like, you can't do nothing about it.
I got you. So how you feel about that? Hello?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, well, hey, it's an interesting take. I think that maybe does it like lower the chances if that's the kind of personality you're going after? Definitely. I think you have to adjust the type of person that you're looking at. Not all successful, or not all men with money are necessarily smart in relationship terms. Let's say, or let's say that all men with money, don't care as much about their image, maybe because they have a little bit of a nefarious image. So I don't want to throw it out as not being possible, but just maybe adjusting the vision, for sure. But hey, everybody's got dreams. Let them dream.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is right, but I feel like, I feel like women have to understand that those kind of men, the percentage of them is already super, super small. For a man to be making $100,000 or more, that percentage is small. And then now you're saying I have to find somebody who makes that amount of money and don't care about his image, which most people do. You know what I mean? That's, now you're talking 1%, 2% of men. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of stupid, mathematically.
And I feel you. I get where both of y'all are coming from, but like
get up among the clouds.
but like you said, everybody gotta have a dream. All right,
Yeah.
so look here, we're gonna wrap this one up because we didn't hit that hour mark, and we don't want to hold on to the people for too long. And next episode, we definitely gonna get back to some more of them was I too freaky tales. So I would like to thank you all for coming, having some great and engaging conversation. PoetRaeMoet, Jean Grey, King JJ, the brothers from the NoChill card game. One more time, just go ahead and thank the people, tell them peace out, let them know where they can find you, and we're going to sign on off from this episode of QnA.
All righty. Well, definitely, as always, glad to great conversation tonight. Definitely looking forward to doing more with you guys. I am PoetRaeMoet, by the way, and if you guys are looking to check me, you can check me out under the name PoetRaeMoet. So that's PoetRaeMoet. And you can also find all of my links in one tidy place under Linktree/PoetRaeMoet. So that's linktr.ee/PoetRaeMoet, PoetRaeMoet. So like I said, you guys, I've got books available, wonderful spoken word album that's out, erotic art and candles, and produce events in the area as well. So we are definitely really excited to be bringing you For Couples Only 4 in February, Valentine's weekend. So that is definitely the one to look out for. We can't wait to see you there.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for coming, and we're going to have you back next week, most definitely, or well, next episode. Go ahead there, King JJ, Jean Grey, wrap us on up.
All right, I'm King JJ. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed the little heated convo between Jean Grey and PoetRaeMoet. It's very interesting to see both their sides and your perspective as well. Jack. You can find me at theking.jj on Instagram, and the card game is NoChill card game on Instagram, and www.nochillcardgame.com on the website.
I want to appreciate you having me on. Once again, I'm Jean Grey. You can find my music on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify. It's just Jean Grey. You can find me on Instagram, Jean Grey _SVN. I had a great time, and go get you a box of NoChill. So.
Yes, most definitely. Please go ahead, support your brothers, get the game. Make sure you get some books, get some CDs, get your tickets for couples only. I'm sorry. And make sure to tune in to Hold My Leather, which is the sports show that we got 2 episodes out of right now. And if you haven't already, go ahead, catch up on the other Q&As that we got along with the Tender Tales here on WGGJ, the Groove Masters Worldwide Radio.